Hello, hope all is well. This is Ken here, RD Labs. It's been a long time since I last did a video. So obviously we're coming towards the end of 2024. Hope everyone's had a fantastic year thus far. So I'll be getting back into more, let's say the regular routine. So more consistent videos in the new year. So we're just building up, let's say we're just starting a warm up process again. So what we will be doing is we'll be discussing more about the markets. We'll be talking about the trends that's happening, i.e., where we see the market moving in terms of AI. We'll be looking at quantum computing. We'll be looking at all of the micro trends, macro trends, things of interest. We'll be doing reviews of certain projects in the space. And we'll be looking at investing, getting back into investing in various projects, right? Building projects. So there's a lot going on I have planned for the group, for the community, for what we're trying to achieve. So 2025 is going to be a big year. So this is a Bitcoin chart. So this is on a 3-hour time frame. I can even probably just go to a daily time frame. So what we've seen is an incredible year for Bitcoin. From when it started out, let's see if we go all the way back to, what was this? It started out the year about around 42,000, 43,000. And we've just seen this gradual momentum to the outside. This has really been buoyed by the ETFs initially, initial part of the year. That just really continued that whole flow. And then obviously the momentum in terms of the new administration and what they're really extremely bullish in terms of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin especially. And then obviously we're now starting to hear more about the Bitcoin reserve. So I think we're just seeing more institutional investment perspective, starting to disperse, starting to allocate funds into the space. So yeah, it probably won't stop. Let's see where we're going with this. In terms of institutional, from the corporate side, if you take a look at Michael Saylor, that has now part of MicroStrategy, he basically now has accumulated probably about 2.5% of the total supply of Bitcoin, and I don't think that will abate. That will probably continue. So he basically mentioned, this is in December the 10th, to Microsoft shareholders that will vote on Bitcoin. And he basically had a message just in terms of what Bitcoin is. It's, this digital currency, but this digital Manhattan, he's calling it, right? So instead of having this standard real estate, people are now looking to move where you have something that's tangible, something basically that you can be able to move, from place to place without any, holding a huge amount, just in terms of where we see this moving. And ultimately, he views that Bitcoin will outperform all other asset classes. Gold is probably now about $20 trillion. So he believes that's going to probably be achieved within the next few years as an alternative to bonds, corporates. He gives a breakdown of public entities holding Bitcoin and where he sees it moving. So he's extremely bullish, clearly, and he's trying to really get other institutional to be able to come on board, especially with the narrative of Donald Trump taking place. So this was the presentation he did. And then if you fast forward in terms of Microsoft, the actual vote took place. And basically, if I just pull this up, so this just gives a breakdown of the voting matters, the vote recommendations from the Microsoft shareholders. And they basically said the election of 12 board directors. So this is information just regarding like an annual review, or this was added to the SEC filing. And regarding proposals, so they had a proposal for reports of risk of weapons development. They were against it. An assessment of investing in Bitcoin. So they were against that. So to see a breakdown of the amount, You could see here, assessment of investing in Bitcoin, vote results, not approved, so against. And the votes for was only 0.55%. So I was quite surprised by that, because I would have thought, especially now with Bitcoin becoming more of a mature asset class, I would have thought, as an asset, I would have thought a lot of the shareholders would have come on board and said, yeah, there's an interest. So that was quite surprising. And especially when you take a look at companies that are at the forefront of innovation, forefront of technology, you would have thought that they would have had some form of, interest, inclination to really support this, but that's not the case. So that was really surprising. We'll see whether this, in the next few years, that they'll feel that this is being warranted or not. Time will tell. Maybe it's a case of them saying to themselves, okay, if they have a certain amount of billions on their balance sheet, and now they want to be able to buy Bitcoin at, $101,000 per Bitcoin, they probably feel potentially that maybe from a price point, it's quite expensive. And what's the inherent risk if price then, and we all know with the volatility of Bitcoin, if it pulls back during a bear market by 50%, by 60%, by 80%, right? Then what happens, right? If they allocate a certain amount. So I don't know, but, I personally believe Bitcoin is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And, long-term, $100,000 in 10 years is going to seem like chicken change, personally. So that's that. We've also had some news regarding Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs also came out that they basically, the CEO, David Solomon, basically came out in a conference that they are looking to evaluate and consider adding Bitcoin part of their balance sheet. So he mentioned, I do not think that these technologies are addressing as they're getting a lot of attention at the moment, because there's a view that the regulatory framework is going to evolve as we go forward. So he's now looking to consider that, which is great. And hopefully we'll start to see Goldman Sachs, other entities starting to move forward. Time will tell in respect to that. So that's where we are. Price is currently at, Bitcoin is currently at 101,000. We've seen some incredible moves to the upside. Ethereum has really underperformed if you compare that to Bitcoin, but we are just off the all-time highs. All-time highs are at, 4,800. It's currently trading at about 3,800. So we'll see where that moves. We could see maybe a consolidation prior to the inauguration next month of Trump, probably holding around this period, all-time highs, same as Bitcoin. And then we'll see the momentum in the first quarter to the second quarter of the new year. And then obviously inflation has came out at 2.5%. So we'll see. I know obviously new administration want to find ways that they could totally bring down that inflation. So let's see what impact that has. So yeah, this is where we are. I'm getting back into it. So you'll be getting more regular videos from me regarding the market. As I mentioned, product reviews. We're looking to start investing heavily into different early stage projects. My team will be building out interesting projects as well. So get ready. Please make sure that you subscribe, you like, and let's get back on the scene. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.